First of all, I'm so really enriching. And one thing that we have at the, I'll get back to that, but one thing that we have at the ASC is we have something called a vision committee that started around 2016. We used to talk about it. Come. The society. events that we and all because we're an internet. And suddenly you'd realize that you're living in a world that you share with other people. It wasn't so distant because you know some photographers, we went to rock stars. We went to see waiting. What's you guys now? That follows towards the end. I feel our vision committee because we've actually been able to create events that address that and to be able to include inclusion and diversity. And inclusion isn't the kind of thing where you just invite somebody to the party. But as this woman, Vera Myers at Netflix, inclusion is to invite somebody to the party and ask them to dance, you know. So what we do at the ASC is we invite people to this thing in a way. And we broaden the community, and at the same time we broaden the organization. One thing about image makers, images transcend borders. They create cultures. They represent who we are and where we're from. And in the long run, these images that we make, not just cinematography, but the other creative things that we do, create the fabric of humanity. Right? We become a part of this great big cloth that makes us all part of this fabric of humanity. And that's one of the things that we like to do at the ASC. From the Vision Committee grew the mentorship program. And the mentorship program, the organized mentorship program, because most of our cinematographers are mentors anyway, because they share the reality and love that other upcoming cinematographers share. My very good friend Michael Goy, he said something to me funny. And he said that Henner told him that I didn't realize I had influenced so many lives. And Michael said, that's because you were too busy doing it. And that's what mentors do, because half the time you don't even know you're mentoring somebody. All you're doing is sharing this love that both of you agree upon. Professionally for 5 years, right? So it's difficult to come straight out of school and do it. They have to have a real decisions they were making in the creative process. People apply to the mentorship program, and that's just the capacity that we have to stop at. But a lot of those people have also become members, and it's very important to us as cinematographers to recognize up-and-coming talent. It's so important to reach out and find those rising stars. I don't know if you've ever seen the magazine, but with the articles of rising, we sincerely look at people's work, and we are introduced to people from other cinematographers, and hopefully, you know, we're able to get them into the mentor program, and a lot of our rising stars experience as being mentees. But we also have the master class program that many people participate in. And it's an international program, as well as the mentorship program is an international program. My mentee this year lives in Ethiopia. And I was pretty happy to get a mentee in Ethiopia because I've shot a couple of films there. And I know how hard it is to work in Ethiopia. And when he presented his reel, it was beautiful. So, you know, it's a little bit of a stretch because the time zones make it a little difficult. But yeah, that's important to us. It's important to us that, you know, we look towards the next generation, and as well as the AMC, I was talking to Sandra and Apertura with the women cinematographers. There are 86 of them now, you know, in the ASC because of the Vision Committee and because of this consciousness of broadening our society. Because here's the thing that's really important, is everybody has their own story to tell. And everybody's story is individual to them. And all their experiences become like a hard drive that they download themselves. They download the other things that they've seen. And that becomes the foundation of everything that we do.
John,
Not just...
I think Henner has a remark.
Okay.
No, he wants to finish it.
I'm talking too much.
No. No, it's very interesting. It's about the mentorship program, just about that topic.
I thought all of a sudden I was talking too much. But that's okay. Let's go.
No, but come on, finish.
Well, I mean, it's basically finished. I just wanted to say that it's very important to us as a society, and for you as well, and for Sandra as well, is that these organizations that are pushing forward people who are underserved, that haven't been recognized completely by their talents or whatever stops them, that stands in the way of their progress. Every one of us that is in that situation, our passion is always greater than our obstacles. You know, it's like as we get up against these walls for women cinematographers, people of color, whatever, right, no matter where you're from, a lot of it can be religious in certain countries because we reach out all over the world. Every one of those artists and every one of those creative people have to do what they do. I said that the other day when I was thinking with Henner in the panel. But the thing that's most important is the problems have to be, the passion has to be greater than any obstacle. And when you connect with a mentor, and the mentor is sincere with you, you see that there's a pathless land that we're approaching. And the only common denominator to that pathless land of traveling along of creative mediums is our passion to ignore the problems and keep on going. All right, I'll shut up.
Bueno, lo que acaba de decir Johnny es fundamental, pero yo quisiera hacer una acotación. Culturalmente, eso funciona muy bien en Estados Unidos. Nosotros tenemos otros matices que son más de clase que de una cultura estándar. En Estados Unidos, por supuesto, hay clases, pero es otro concepto, es el concepto de que yo tengo la lana. Y aquí puede haber clases sin tener tanta lana. Es una acción es una acción social, y hay mamones y hay unos que no lo son, pero tenemos otro esquema. Entonces, el mentorship en México se da siempre porque lo hemos visto en la práctica de los crews, o sea, hemos visto como, por ejemplo, el STPC tiene la cosa esta de los escalafones y empiezan en chícharos y en este y aquello y más allá, luego asistentes de cámara, luego cinefotógrafos, sí, y ha habido grandes ejemplos como Jorge Stahl y como Gabriel Figueroa que fueron creciendo en la industria porque están incorporados y porque tenemos estamos como parejos, o sea, cuando gritamos gol en los palcos del Estadio Azteca o en una de sus filas más baratas, hasta arriba ya en las luces, la pasión es la misma, es culturalmente la misma. El fan del foot no está en su cartera ni en su educación, está en su pasión. Y en Estados Unidos es distinto, porque todos son clase media. Y claro, hay unos jodidos, por supuesto, y otros multimillonarios. Pero el multimillonario piensa como piensa el del Uber. Es muy curioso, eso es lo que yo descubrí viviendo 32 años o 40 o no sé cuántos en Estados Unidos. Y y también profesionalmente, creo yo, y aquí se da el asunto, porque, por ejemplo, vamos a poner un ejemplo, ¿cuál pongo? Esteban de Yaca, cuequero. Bueno, ya de ahí ya está mal, pero bueno, lo perdonamos porque nos cae bien y lo queremos. Yo he trabajado muchísimo con Esteban y a veces empezó como asistente de cámara, el loader, y al final me ha hecho segundas unidades y ahora Esteban, por poner un ejemplo, de alguien que conozco muy bien porque nos hemos fogueado juntos, hemos viajado, hemos filmado en Sudamérica, en fin, hemos hecho un buen equipo. Hoy día Esteban tiene una carrera como director de fotografía extraordinaria y no necesariamente yo fui su mentor. Yo le di trabajo y en el trabajo aprendió. Entonces sí hay una pequeña diferencia. Nosotros tenemos que adoptar todo lo bueno, por supuesto, que es bueno esto, pero les funciona más a ellos por su esquema social. Ellos hacen muchísimas cosas que nosotros no podemos por un esquema social. A nosotros nos detiene muchísimo lo de las clases. A ellos los detiene muchísimo lo de la how do you say race in Spanish? La raza. O sea, si eres de color amarillo, café, verde o rojo intenso, pues te van marcando. Es como pasa, y aquí el color de piel no nos molesta tanto como, a mí en lo personal no me importa, pero no es una costumbre, o sea, no hay gente de todos los colores, con todas las carteras y con todo, cargadas de pesos y dólares y de ideas y de coches y de bla, bla, bla. Es diferente, México es distinto.
Tengo una pregunta, la voy a decir en español. I have a question for both,
Yes.
but I will say it in Spanish and Claudia can translate, okay?
Okay, can I say something?
Yes, of course, John. This is your stage.
Okay, okay, let me get if I'm start. So, racism. is, and the farm workers went on strike, you couldn't have any of their products on the set. So these people were completely conscious. My mentor was being indicted by the House of Un-American Activities. And these people hid him and his wife in their attic. His name is Carlton Moss. In their attic until they could prepare their case. My experience, I worked in the civil rights struggle as a photographer. I've been knocked out by policemen and gassed with tear gas. You know, I have a whole history of very personal relationship with the racism of America. And I get a scholarship to film school, and I graduate. And Carlton gives me a job working for the commercial company. And my very first day, I walk onto the grip truck, and they have the grip box. And on the grip box, they have the most derogatory cartoons of Mexican people. Cesar Chavez messing with a donkey. Martin Luther King drinking ink with a diaper on and a watermelon patch. And because it wasn't that long after the Vietnam War, the most horrible cartoons of the Vietnam War. And I got on the phone and I called my friend Carlton. And I said, Carlton, I think you've got me in the wrong place. And I tell him what I saw. And Carlton says to me, do you want to be a cinematographer? I said, yeah, I want to be one. He said, do you know any black people making movies? I said, no. And he slammed the phone down on me. And I work with these people, and I had to listen to all kind of nasty jokes and stories. At the same time, I'd have to interrupt them and say, why are you using Opal instead of 250? Johnny, wait a minute, I got to tell one more joke. It don't have nothing to do with you, right? And that racism wasn't only individual to me, it was happening to all kinds of people that were coming into the business. Because our business for a long time was made up of very privileged people. You know, people, one time I was at a lecture and they had two cinematographers up there. I don't want to say their names. And they asked the class, what does it take to be a cinematographer? And the response was rich parents, right? And something I'm very happy about with my organization, the Society of Cinematographers, is that we take our mentorship programs, that's the official mentorship program, but we take our mentorship program to high schools and in the communities and organizations that are trying to learn the business. There's something called Hollywood CPR, and everybody can go there, and they can learn how to operate equipment, right, and feel like they're part of something. So I don't want you to think that the society that we're in is about people who can afford it or people who can't afford it. It's about people who have the love for it, you know, and that's something that is very important to us because we're still up against the same things that put us there. I work as an artist. And recently, the American Society of Cinematographers received the camera that shot Birth of a Nation. Is anyone familiar with that film? Well, that film, it caused a rise in the Ku Klux Klan membership. It caused a rise in the lynchings of people. And it slowed us down from making progress. Not me, but all of us in this room. It slowed us down from moving forward because it was able to make it okay that you could make these derogatory images and include them in cartoons like the Chinese character that, you know, bows and you know, has a little hat on, or the Mexican that sleep with a sombrero on. That movie caused all that. So what I did was I made a theater out of a 2K lamp, because I do sculptures and stuff. He's a really good sculptor. I made a theater out of a 2K lamp that has an audience of Ku Klux Klan members in it. And the little baby Ku Klux Klan members looking in the opposite direction, hopefully meaning that things were going to change, which is doubtful with our new administration, because right now I feel like all the work that we put into the Vision Committee, we're once again having a struggle with the things that are happening, you know, and the divisiveness of our culture. So yeah, I made this lamp. It's a 2K lamp, and it plays Birth of a Nation on the inside, and all the kinds of derogatory images that movie created. You turn it on. Right now it's playing in a gallery in Los Angeles. And I went downtown to look at it, and there's all kinds of people like you, people like me, standing around appreciating what this thing says. I don't know why I told you guys that. I just want to tell you something about Tame. So when my art piece comes down here, you can see it. But yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm very happy about the new technology and the democratization of technology. I'm glad about this, and the one coming up can shoot 4K. I'm glad that people can afford a camera now. And I'm glad that there's nothing that can stop anybody from telling their story, because I grew up shooting my camera tests at the rental house and out the back door of the rental house. Now, I don't have to do that. Things have changed. I'll just stop talking.
No, please, John. I think you said amazing things, very powerful, very in the topic.
Is your
So-
microphone on?
Eh?
Are you on?
Yes, yes, yes. It's on. So perhaps, no, yes, I can hear. Everybody can hear. So perhaps we can start with questions from the audience, if it's
Oh,
okay
whatever
for you.
works.
¿Alguien tiene una pregunta? Justo ahorita de lo que está hablando John, creo que. Gracias.
Thank you, Claudia. Michael, you should have Claudia sitting next to you.
Oh, hi, I'm Hector, an ex-student of this school many years ago, even before Henner was director
Whoa.
here. And I'm sorry, I have to ask my question in Spanish, and then Claudia, please, can translate. Quiero preguntarle, para mí es admirable la ASC, como institución, ¿sí? Si bien hay muchos guilds, muchos grupos no profesionales en Estados Unidos, me parece que la ASC representa lo mejor, pues, de la conservación de una tradición, de una serie de técnicas y métodos y de un arte. Entonces, quisiera preguntarle básicamente, vi que en el logotipo hay un motto, ¿no? Hay un lema de 3 palabras en la asociación. Y quisiera que nos hablara de ello, por favor.
Loyalty, progress, and artistry is what it says on our logo. And what that means is we are a group of cinematographers that want to preserve the integrity of cinematography. And we want to be able to be on the front lines of the advancements in technology, and to be able to always be concerned with the artistic process of what we do. Does that sound good, Michael? Yeah, that's it, right? I hope that answered your question.
Talking about what it means, like from the dream to the set, that's what it says in the topic of this class. What would you say that's the dream, and how to take it to the set?
From the dream to the set? Where was that? Where
Yeah.
did you see that?
It's the name of that's the name of the class.
That's the name. Okay, okay. I didn't know that was the name of the conversation.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's basically what Henry and both of us have been talking about. To be able to have to be able to share this reality of wanting to be cinematographers, wanting to be artists, and doing what it takes with that experience to arrive at the set. You know, I mean, that's the way I can interpret it. I mean, I feel like we all come into this thing with a dream, you know, and the dream is to be able to tell our stories, to be a part of the community of storytellers, not all wanting to be cinematographers. People want to be other things. They want to be editors. They want to be producers. They want to be directors, whatever that dream might be. So what does it mean to take the dream to the set? It means that we have to be able to embrace all the things that create the foundation of that dream, so that by the time we see ourselves arriving at the point that we're able to do things, that's from the dream to the set. But the thing that I just said about the democratization of technology, to be able to reach out and tell your story with the least amount of money, with the least amount of anything, tell your story. I would say that's from the dream to the set. I just made a short film with a friend of mine. Actually, he was an accountant at this business that I do a lot of creative work for. And he said he had a story to tell. And he wanted me to direct it. And I was a little shocked because the only thing I'd ever said to him in the past was, "Are checks coming out today?" Right? And now he shows me a script. He's from Senegal. And it was a story of injustice. And there was a man named Trey Nichols who was being stopped by the police in Memphis, Tennessee a couple of years ago. And he tried to drive the 2 blocks to his house so he could at least get stopped by the police in front of his house. And when he did, the police killed him. And while they killed him, he was screaming for his mother because she was just 1 door away. The police confessed their guilt, and they acquitted them all and let them go. So when he presented the story to me, it's called Wrong Address. It touched me because that event with Trey Nichols touched me. And the film is 10 minutes long, and you never know what you're going to do. And now this guy who's not even an actor has won Best Actor at the Toronto's Film Festival. The film has been invited to Cannes next year. You just don't know what's going to happen with these things. We made it in 3 days with hardly no equipment at all, 3 people. But the story was hard to tell, but it was important to tell. So whatever it took to do it, we did it, right? And I think that's where we are now. I think that's where we are. I think that now the dream to the set is a shorter journey. But the thing that we have to do is we have to educate ourselves on storytelling. We have to be familiar with history and art and all those things that work. Because one thing that I like about the moving image is that it's powerful. I took my son, who's 6 years old, to see The Bicycle Thief, Victoria De Sica's Bicycle Thief. And after the first few minutes of reading subtitles to him, he's pushing me away and just watching. And then when we leave, I say, "What was that story about?" And he tells me the story. And it's in Italian. He don't speak Italian. But the images speak a universal language. And I think that's something that is a gift that we all have to share. You can stop me when I talk. Too long.
I'm in love with you. Ya iba a hablar en inglés, qué horror. cayó en la trampa Johnny, porque lo que quería era eso. Por esos argumentos que hice previos, sabía que Johnny iba a empezar a hablar de su vida, de lo que pasa dentro de esto. Y es interesante porque yo lo conozco muy bien y lo quiero mucho. Somos más que hermanos. Además nacimos en 1950, ¿no? You born 1950 also. So, tenemos la misma edad en dos diferentes territorios y dos diferentes circunstancias, pero somos cogeneracionarios, ¿o cómo se dice eso? Y sabía que iba a hablar de esto, y es muy importante, porque esa es una definición en el ámbito cinematográfico importantísima. No quisiera usar palabras agresivas, pero la diferencia que hay dentro de Hollywood y el viejo Hollywood y el nuevo Hollywood y el Hollywood independiente es apabullante, porque ahora encuentras películas y cineastas y fotógrafos que hacen las cosas muy bien con muy poco, o otros que hacen las cosas fantásticas igual que con muchísimo. Entonces, navegar en esas aguas de presupuesto, de equipo, de guión, generalmente los guiones que tienen más dinero son los guiones, algunos que tratan de racismo, o son películas racistas, o son películas que nada más hay blancos, o son gente que baila en calles y en esto, pero no hay uno solo de latino, no hay un solo African American, ni coreanos. O sea, es muy interesante, porque Estados Unidos es como una gran clase de qué la podríamos, pues de desarrollo político, cultural, porque están definidas las culturas. Nosotros mezclamos nuestras cosas. O sea, vuelvo a lo anterior. Nosotros, la diferencia entre una gente con poco dinero y mucho dinero es que el taco es el mismo, excepto que uno no tiene carne, tiene frijoles, y el otro sí tiene un steak, ¿no? O sea, es un asunto de invertirle al coche, a la casa, a la tele, a los juguetes, etcétera. Y allá no, porque allá está diluido eso. O sea, lo mismo que tiene Donald Trump, lo tuve yo viviendo en Estados Unidos, con la diferencia de los metros cuadrados que yo usaba contra sus penthouses, ¿no? Y por eso el cine americano tiene ese éxito mundial, porque es neutro en muchos sentidos. Hay otros que no, o sea, pero es un cine neutro. Incluso Spike Lee, su cine que tiene ciertas tendencias hacia African Americans, es neutro. Hay una neutralidad en la narrativa, que todo el mundo le entiende. Es muy, ¿cómo se dice? Educativo, pero no educativo, sino, ¿qué palabra hay de algo que tienes? Bueno, en fin, no la recuerdo ahorita, pero tiene que ver con que las lecturas son distintas, y entonces y las cosas son diferentes. De repente tú ves, y en Estados Unidos, por ejemplo, en la ASI, yo he notado que amigos de la ASI que tenemos más o menos lo mismo, comemos lo mismo, manejamos casi lo mismo, pero uno es coreano, entonces, filma de una manera distinta. El otro es African American, tiene una visión diferente. Uno es de derecha, y filman y se nota. Y luego hay gente de izquierda, que también se nota que hay más libertad, respiras. Yo he notado en el cine que hay películas que te asfixia la fotografía y la luz y esto, películas que te hacen respirar. Y eso es un poco la forma de acercarse a la luz y a los actores del director de fotografía. Entonces hay que tener cuidado con eso. Yo de repente he alumbrado sets que tuve que cambiar porque, por ejemplo, mi asistente, que es africano, ahora es American African, pero en su momento era Robert Mujamba, es su nombre. Un día me dijo, Jenner, esto es absolutamente white trash. En una cocina, estamos haciendo un comercial de no sé qué productos, y me dice, that looks like a white trash thing, I mean, come on, do something. Y cambié la luz, y sí, cambié la luz y cambió todo. Cambiaron hasta los extras y la gente que estaba involucrada en esa, o sea, el cocinero que era el personaje en el comercial. Y es la observación de Robert, ¿me explicó? Que es africano, que viene con una visión absolutamente enloquecida para mí, porque viene con otro rollo. Y con él mismo, por supuesto, hizo una película con Wesley Snipes en Namibia, y por supuesto Robert estaba conmigo, porque entonces ya estábamos en su territorio, y fue súper interesante. En fin, creo por ahí va la cosa.
¿Alguna otra pregunta? Sí. ¿Alguien más? Primero porque no ha preguntado, ¿está bien? Sí. ¿Alguien más además de él? Porque para ver el chico de ¿no? ¿Nadie más? Y después vamos contigo, ¿vale?
Hola, esta es una pregunta para Jenner. Lo que decía al principio, cuando mostraron el reel de ASC, que el cine de los americanos es aplastante, en el sentido de que no podemos llegar a ese tipo de presupuestos, no podemos ni siquiera concebirlo aquí en México, contar historias de esa manera en la que ellos están acostumbrados a contarlas. Mi pregunta es, ¿cuál diría? ¿Cómo lograron los maestros de antes, los cinefotógrafos de antes mexicanos, esa mexicanidad, el contar algo relevante desde nuestra cultura que tuviera un impacto similar a la de los americanos? ¿Y cuál es la importancia? Porque siento que los cineastas de esta generación en México todos estamos tratando de ir hacia allá, hacia Estados Unidos, parecernos a ellos, pero ¿cuál es la importancia de abrazar esta mexicanidad que estamos perdiendo?
Sí, es una buena pregunta. La mexicanidad en el cine y la pérdida de esa mexicanidad es porque todo lo demás cambió. El cine sigue a la pintura, el cine sigue al ballet y cambió. O sea, si no estaba Posadas ya, nosotros no tenemos un equivalente. Y en la época de Gabriel Figueroa teníamos a Posada, el grabador, y tenía una fuerza, teníamos los muralistas. Los muralistas son cinematográficos, es una manera de narrar una película, es un storyboard. O sea, si tú un día haces el ejercicio de ir al Palacio Nacional y tomar fotos, no sé si se pueda, pero de diferentes momentos con los indígenas, los españoles, los descabezados, los que y haces un storyboard a raíz de esas imágenes y haces una historia, eso lo perdimos, porque perdimos a los artistas con mexicanidad. Fuimos invadidos por Warhol. Estamos permanentemente invadidos con cosas que son cool. No son buenas, son cool. Hay que tener cuidado a dónde caminas y qué pisas, porque es un pantano. Entonces lo que sucede ahora es que hay una influencia extranjera, no solamente americana, hay una influencia enorme extranjera en la literatura misma. O sea, 100 años de soledad, yo no la concibo como algo mexicano, no tiene es colombiana, es sudamericana, es tropical, es de sudor. O sea, no puedes leer 100 años de soledad sin sudar, porque el calor del libro y el calor donde está escrito te hace sudar. O sea, tienes que traer una guayabera, ¿no?, para poder resistir el asunto. Entonces, esta cosa de México estaba mucho más aislado. Entonces, México tenía orígenes mucho más fuertes visuales, de los indígenas y de la colonia. Entonces tenía más eso, ¿no? O sea, acuérdense de esta película de Luis Buñuel. Bueno, todas las de Luis Buñuel son aplastantes, ¿no? Pero Los Olvidados, no, la otra, los que no pueden salir del El Ángel Exterminador. Tiene una influencia hispánica. ¿Por qué? Porque el director era español y porque es una historia que sucede en México, pero de casualidad. Porque en el fondo yo siempre que veo esa película pienso en Segovia, pienso en el real catolicismo, el flagelo, el de caminar con una corona de espinas cargando un santo por horas, una procesión, todo eso que hacen los españoles con el asunto este del fuma, no sé qué diablos, el que mecen ¿cómo se llama? Un incenciario gigante casi del tamaño de esta sala, que lo avientan en la mitad de una catedral de un lado a otro, que es un espectáculo fantástico, pero es una cosa medieval. O sea, y el cine español tiene algo de medioevo. El cine mexicano tiene algo intermedio y el cine americano es modernismo, como lo fue el cine francés de Godard y de Truffaut y esas gentes, que por alguna razón empezó y fotográficamente hay mucha influencia, esas cámaras en mano, el over the shoulder permanentemente, el que estés en un espejo maquillándote y la cámara esté atrás y veas la nuca y veas en el espejo reflejado el rostro. Y eso es muy, muy francés, y todos con telefoto y todo cerrado y utilizando el formato de 1:6, y en el cine americano es 2:40 y 1:85, ese es su rango. Entonces también tienen una visión distinta y nosotros estamos clavados más en el rango ese. Todo eso cambia el cine, me explico, es como si un pintor pinta algo vertical y horizontal, y nosotros tenemos que empezar a pensar que nuestro lienzo es el formato, no la pantalla, es el formato, y que cómo caben las cosas en ese formato. Pero si el cine americano o el cine europeo hace 2:40, pues entonces queremos nosotros hacer 2:40. 2:40 en el Distrito Federal no sirve, porque está lleno de edificios y cosas. En Nueva York sí, porque Nueva York, aparte de tener edificios muy altos, tiene diferentes layers, ¿cómo se dice? Capas. Una es la de la banqueta, luego es la de la marquesina, luego son la de los vidrios, hasta el final con el heliopuerto. O sea, entonces es modernismo puro, desde el punto de vista arquitectónico y cinematográfico. Es difícil filmar en Nueva York, ¿eh? Yo lo he hecho y tiene su problemática porque es una ciudad vertical. En fin, creo que va por ahí. Y sí tenemos que encontrar nuestros lenguajes, porque ¿por qué cuando abres una televisión o algo y ves X cosa, sabes que es una película italiana? Pero las mexicanas se nos diluyen porque estamos tratando de hacerlo como lo hacen en Estados Unidos. No tardas en encontrar que es una película mexicana porque todo es los formatos, en fin. Hay que tener cuidado cómo filmas, es muy importante. ¿Cuál es tu canvas, no? ¿Cuál es tu superficie? Parece mentira, pero es cierto cómo acomodas tus actores y cómo se mueven y la mexicanidad que hemos un poco perdido, creo yo, ahí se puede rescatar, ¿no?
I do want to say something. I want to say a couple of things, but because thanks to Claudia, I get to understand that she is the best, especially now. As Henner spoke of Hollywood's influence upon young filmmakers, not just young filmmakers, on filmmakers, in various cultures. When I taught at UCLA for 25 years, 26 years, and the students would bring me their first projects and show it to me, and you'd have a guy from Africa or China, and he shows you an image of this blonde woman running through some flowers in slow motion, being greeted by some white dude with a bare chest, and they hug, and I would say to them, I don't get it. I would expect something else from you. I've been taking photographs for a long, long time. And I do them in museums, really nice museums. And that just happened because George Floyd got killed and everybody started getting guilty, you know? So all of a sudden, a lot of people of color and a lot of women got an opportunity to be shown in these prestigious places. And I go in there, and they ask, well, tell me about this picture. And I said, I don't want to tell you about the picture. I want you to look at the picture like it was 100 years from now, and I wasn't anywhere to talk about it. What you guys have, different than anybody in Hollywood, is you have a culture that is so rich. It is so rich and so old and even ancient. And all that culture and all those stories and legends and love that has been shared by you and your people creates who you are and how you see things. As a photographer and a painter, because I do both, I know that the moment I pick up this machine and I press the shutter, I'm doing more than taking a picture. The sum total of everything that has ever happened to me, every happy moment, every sad moment, every tear, every time that I've been moved by a piece of music, culminates in that instant. What all of us have to realize is that at the foundation of who you guys are is something very rich. It's richer than anything anybody in America can even identify with. You know, when you go to a museum here or look at a pyramid or any of that, it's older than anything in America. And it's rich. There's this famous artist. I just love him. He's my friend. He passed away. Alejandro Santiago. Does anybody know who he is? He's a bad boy, right? And I spent a month with him in Oaxaca. And I learned so much from him. People in America are talking about recycling. How long has people in Mexico recycled? Forever. You know, I mean, like, all that stuff. I mean, it's so rich. And I was so fortunate that one day I had a class, and this woman comes into my class, and I call my wife up, and I said, Cynthia, there's a Mexican in my class. And my wife says, really? And she knew what I meant. What I meant was that there was a person in my class that honored and embraced their culture. And at UCLA, the majority of the people there were in Tijuana. And the company that he worked for killed him, sending her family into destitute poverty and they had to move to a little village in Oaxaca, her and her mother and 6 brothers and sisters. When she talks, when she makes her films, you don't have to know that happened to her father. But what you see in her images and her storytelling is the power of her culture. And you know what's most important about that? Is those things create a universality. You know, you think you're making something definitely about your culture, but you're like including, it includes everybody because it's at the foundation of our culture. So what I really wanted to say was what you have to concentrate on as artists coming from this culture is you have to embrace who you are and know that it's valuable. And it's not about Andy Warhol and all those people. You know, it's not about comparing to something that happens in Hollywood, you know, and we can't forget that, especially now. I made a movie called The Ruby Bridges Story. And the Ruby Bridges story, Disney made it. So it was for children. It was about the first little black girl that integrated the schools in New Orleans. And they played it in elementary schools forever. Then Donald Trump comes into office. And they take the movie away. They ban the movie. It's a kid's movie. What's the chick's name that hid in the attic that was Jewish? Anne Frank. There was a movie about Anne Frank. They banned that in Florida. And they're taking things out of the museum. I mean, it took me 60 years for anybody to recognize my art. And it was by accident. I mean, I wasn't trying to make that happen. Somebody saw it, blah, blah, blah. And once I said, too, this is very true, is George Floyd in America was killed. He was like a sacrifice because all those institutions, white institutions, started to feel guilty about not having any other cultures represented in their institutions. So all of a sudden, people like us have an opportunity, and we take it because we want our voice to be spoken, you know, to be heard. All of a sudden, I'm working. Next thing I know, Netflix gives me a job to direct 2 episodes or something. Thank you, George Floyd, you know. So the other thing in my life as a creative person, everything I do has a spirit of rebellion, a spirit of having been oppressed. Everything that you guys do has to have the spirit of the tradition of who you are. Gabriel Figueroa was the first cinematographer to be in an art exhibit at the Los Angeles Museum of Art. A cinematographer. Henner, did you see that Gabriel Figueroa exhibit in Los Angeles? No. Oh my God. Oh, it was incredible. It was amazing. I mean, and what do you see in his imagery? You see your culture. You don't see it being, it's not reflecting anything except who you are, you know, and I feel like your life, your experiences, your love, your sadness, is what goes into everything that you make. And I think that the most important thing is that we have to be sincere and honest with ourselves, with our work. It's the stuff we have to make our own, and I think that's important.
Sí, sí, perdón. Ok, la pregunta es para el maestro Jenner. A lo largo de su carrera usted retrató distintas realidades mexicanas. Hoy, ¿qué le preocupa más con la nueva visión de los nuevos directores de esta nueva ola? ¿La estética o la ética con la que hay que retratar las realidades mexicanas? Y una consulta rápida para John, ¿dónde podemos ver su cortometraje, el de Wrong Address? ¿Dónde podemos ver su cortometraje, el de Wrong Address, del que dijo?
You know what? If you talk about something else, I can put it on a hard drive and we can watch it right now. It's only 10 minutes long. I can do it. Can I do it? Okay.
¿Qué es lo que hay que cuidar? Bueno, ¿qué le preocupa más hoy día, si la estética o la ética, para retratar las realidades mexicanas?
Yo me iría por la ética. Porque
¿Por qué?
las películas tienen que ser siempre honestas. Y hablo no solamente de la fotografía, sino hablo del guión. Desde el pensamiento de la idea, el resumen y la escritura, tiene que haber honestidad en la historia y lógica. Y la puedes romper, pero siempre tienes que retomar las cosas. El cine es la literatura cómoda, porque no necesitas lentes. Bueno, en mi caso, hablo de gentes de mi edad. Yo quiero leer algo, pues me tengo que enchufar el lente, la luz, sentarme en un lugar, en fin, es toda una maniobra. Y el cine te permite, y la televisión en el cine, yo no estoy en contra de que también se vean películas en la tele. Yo veo muchas películas en la tele, de hecho, yo soy miembro de la academia y ahorita tengo 90 y tantas películas que ver para las votaciones, entonces me la paso ahí como naranja mecánica, ¿no? Unos pasadores que me pone mi mujer y me sienta ahí a ver cine, ¿no? Una tras otra. Y otras las quito empiezo por las buenas, ¿no? Y luego ya, si me da tiempo, veo las malas, pero son demasiadas. En fin, yo creo que es así la cosa. Y la honestidad siempre es importante, en todos sentidos, ¿eh? En la historia, la lógica, en fin. Yo creo que por ahí va la cosa.
Gracias.
A ti.
Sí, es rápida. Bueno, Johnny hablaba acerca de la democratización por el tema de la tecnología, pero también muchos y cada vez más cinefotógrafos en grandes películas están regresando al celuloide. ¿Qué opinas de esta yuxtaposición?
Yo creo que el celuloide va a quedar por siempre. O sea, es un poco lo que es el acrílico y el óleo. Ahí está el ejemplo. O sea, hay cosas de acrílico fantásticas y hay pintura al óleo nueva de artistas generacionales, o sea, con nuestra generación vivos en el planeta, en fin, ¿no? De otro material. Y yo creo que los dos son bienvenidos. La cosa del digital tiene muchas ventajas también, sobre todo en la cámara de Johnny, ¿no? Porque pues ahí están las imágenes digital, no tiene película, no tienes que ir a revelar a la farmacia nada, ni nada de la naturaleza. Entonces se ha hecho muy práctico. En el cine el esquema es distinto, entonces sí tienes la posibilidad de meter una combinación de los dos si quieres, o hacer tu película con película fotosensible, ¿no? De Kodak o de la marca que tú quieras.
Yeah, I will, but I have to say something I was thinking about. Okay, that's better, but I still have to say something I was thinking about. Okay. So, I'm not going to, I'll let them see it. But I want to say something. It's pretty funny. So, I grew up in Chicago in the 1950s. Nothing could be more segregated than Chicago. There was the black neighborhood and a busy street. Across that busy street, it might be a white neighborhood. Across another busy street, it might be something else. Working? Cool. So check it out. I didn't have to be around any white folks when I grew up because all I could be was in my neighborhood. But when I went to school, Pilar Monique Perez was a Mexican girl in my school. And she was my girlfriend. I was 5. I could not live without her, right? And I used to spend the night at her house. And her mother would make traditional Mexican food. And the father would show me all kinds of pictures of Mexico, right? One day we dressed up as bullfighters. You know, I was little, right? So my love for Mexico happens from when I was 5, right? Her phone number was Fairfax 47831. That's the first number I ever memorized. So, and her mother would try and teach me Spanish, right? And I have to say, as soon as I crossed the border from Los Angeles to Tijuana, it's a relief. It's a relief because I'm not in the presence of those people that oppressed me. And it never goes away. When I got on the plane to come here, and I stepped into that airport, I felt like this. Let's show my movie. Yeah. Hannah, you can't watch it up here.
Yes. He
Yeah.
wants to.
Yeah.
Or maybe from there,
No. I want you to see it.
¿Dónde tú
You
quieres?
or me?
You. I seen it.
No, but you never know.
Yeah, I just want you to see
Sí,
it.
por ahí. Yo ando muy tronado.
I'm so glad that I'm going to get to show this to you guys.
I'll take a private right now.
Everything okay?
Yeah, I just wanted to get out and see you a little bit. Just need peace and
Hey, let's get
I'm
shit.
doing okay. Run.
Jack, put your bag down. Girls, crisscross applesauce. We're getting ready. Why do you look like a turtle? Sit down. I'll call you when I'm done. Girls, crisscross applesauce. That's so beautiful, my love. Don't play. No, keep playing.
Are you gonna sing if I play?
No.
How was your day?
It's good. I brought your favorite. I like this one.
I finished it yesterday.
I love the composition. The way you can feel the movement, the energy.
Yeah, it is part of the work I'm going to get a full freight on. Who thinks my work is empty?
This one over here? Is this the one that's still kicking your butt?
Yeah. It's the one.
You think it'll be ready in time?
Only how today, so we'll see.
Oh, the landlord? I almost forgot.
What's with the landlord?
I spoke to her today.
Is she an extension?
Nope. She needs the money. She said she can't keep letting us slide. I told her we were expecting a check from the gallery this month on the piece you just sold.
Why would you say that? That money is gone. We used it, Papa. How long do we have?
Till the end of the month.
Jesus!
We always make it. Is something wrong? You know you can always talk to me about anything.
Well, sometimes I feel like maybe my job was a really stupid idea. You know, maybe I shouldn't be doing none of this.
Hey, this is who you
I
are.
don't know.
Yes,
I know.
yes. You're doing what you love. That's what matters. We can figure this out together. All right. I know you want to keep painting.
I do.
You need to. Yeah. So go for it.
You sure?
Yeah. Work as late as you need. Make sure you eat something.
Oh,
Okay.
hey. Love you.
I love you.
Dustin, okay?
Pizza place, how can I help you?
That's movie.
Yes, what can I do for you?
Can I get a large pineapple cheese pizza?
The address?
134 Spring Avenue.
One large pineapple cheese pizza going to 134 Spring Avenue.
Yes.
It'll take about 45 minutes.
Yes, hello. I'm calling regarding the order. It said deliver on Markham, but there's no one outside. No, that's my neighbor's address. You know what? It's all right.
Look at this. Man, get that shit away from me, man. What are you doing? Whatever. OG. Yo, is this some guy? Wait, hold up. Wait. Hey! What Angie says. You know, they have a slice, so. Let me see some ID. That's fucking pizza.
This is mine. It just got delivered from home address.
Where the fuck you from?
What do you mean I'm
You know
from?
what? I don't care where you from. Let me see some ID. You heard what the man said? Hey, keep your motherfucking hands where I can see him.
I don't know this, okay? I walked in the neighborhood.
Shut
I walked
the
just
fuck
before my
up,
pizza.
turn around,
This is
spread
mine.
your
I
legs,
can
just do what he says.
This is mine. I have to
Just
respect
shut
and
the fuck
choose.
up, turn around, put your hands against the wall.
This is mine. I have to respect and
Do
choose.
what he says. Fuck around. What the fuck's wrong with you?
My name is sir. I don't have anything. I just have my keys. What are you doing?
I'm your brother. I'm the fucking police. Stop resisting.
Resisting.
Stop
I'm not resisting.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you gonna hit a cop? You a tough nigga? Think you a tough nigga? Say something. Say something else. That's on the head off. That's enough. That's a fucking no. Leave him alone. Yo, let me get this one, man. This is one. What do you mean this one? Pick it up. Pick up the fucking knife. Pick it up, dog. Pick it up. Drop the weapon. Yeah, nigga, you heard me. I said drop your motherfucking weapon now. What you gonna do? Shoot me? Nigga, I said drop your weapon. Get up. Get up. Get up. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. Get up. Stop resisting.
This is who you are.
Get up. Your hands about to fucking more. You gonna hit up?
This is who you are.
Hello, hello. Oh, I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. You know, I tell you, that's a very real situation. I've been beat up by black cops growing up. And that line where the guy says, "I ain't your brother, I'm the police." I've had that said to me before. So, this, like Henna said next to me, it's a very real situation, you know, and, you know, it can happen at the most unexpected times. And does anybody have any questions? Because I feel like if it's clear, then there's nothing that I can really say. But But my friend that wrote the story, a lot of that was a telephone conversation, right, between him and his girlfriend. So, you know, to be able to create a story that somebody has this thing they're trying to do, and then to be able to connect them to a community, his girlfriend in the dance class, right? Then it gives somebody something to lose. So that by the time he runs into the police, we see everything that is at stake if things go wrong for him. But
I think it was an amazing experience, very shocking. Thank you so much for being so generous with us.
I'm just so glad you guys wanted to watch it.
No, I think it
Thank you. Where are you? Thank you.
Yes, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Bueno, para cerrar, pues agradecerles muchísimo haber estado aquí, decirles que toda esta semana continúan los eventos de esta maravillosa semana organizada por la AMC. En la tarde tenemos una charla de escuelas de cine, bueno, más bien sobre la formación cinematográfica, conducida por la talentosísima Sandra da Silva. Están súper bienvenidas. Y en el foro, en Churubusco, en el foro 7 y 8, hay una feria increíble ahorita con stands y un montón de experiencias que va a estar ahí toda la semana. Diana, no sé si quieres agregar algo para invitarles a los eventos que hay.
Dino, I just have to say one thing to these guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome. Creo que esta charla fue realmente muy interesante, del sueño al set, pues muy personal. Creo que uno de los puntos importantes aquí es ver que el trabajo del cine no es solo técnico, sino sobre todo es profundamente humano. Henner hablaba de la ética, John habla justamente de entender de dónde vienes y mirar hacia afuera. Creo que esos son some remarks of this talk, of this conversation, but John wants to say something else, so please, John.
So we were talking about, as Henner was talking about, being able to draw upon our culture and draw upon who we are, and that it's not really about comparing our work to something that's already been established to Hollywood or Europe or anything like that, but to be able to just reach into that place of ourselves, and that's where the inspiration comes from. Where does it come from? It comes from how we live, how we breathe, how we exchange every day. And hopefully in that little movie you saw, that's what, you know, nobody's trying to be Hollywood. Henry, you got to tell me what you think. Here, give me this.
I'm totally shocked with this. But happens all the time that there are black people against black people. And in black neighborhoods, I have seen things terrible between gangs. I lived in New York when I was a kid. So I have been in Harlem and all these places, and they fight each other. In that, I'm talking about the 60s. And let me tell you a story. Well, that was my first experience with racism. I was with my father, a guy from Haiti, in one of the fancy bars, and we ordered something. No, so I don't remember what was it. But at the end, when we asked for the check. And this guy comes from Haiti. It was a diplomat guy from Haiti, and interesting man. So the waiter came and started, putting the things in the tray. And at the end, he picked up the martini cup of René, was the name, and smashed it in the corner of the tray, break. And he says, "We don't wash them," to the face of the black guy from Haiti. And I have about, it was 61, 60, like 11 years or something like that. And that marked me for the rest of my life because I didn't understand. Then my father explained me about racism and things like that. No, and now I know what it is.
Oh, yeah.
¿Por qué $10,000?
Stand up, Delphine. I want them to see you. Stand
Johnny,
up.
they will pay you the $10,000.
Let me tell you, nothing happens at the ASC without these people that you're looking at, minus a couple of people. Alex, Salvador, Alex's wife, Naomi. I mean, these are the people that make the ASC happen, and they're my family, and I love them. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was so much fun to be here with you guys this morning. That's funny. Yes.
Let's take a picture outside.
Oh, cool.
Okay. So
Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. One second. Let Henner and I, we'll take the picture outside, but let Henner and I stand on the stage, facing the camera, and all you guys stand up so that we can look at the camera. Let's do that. And then we'll take one outside. Is that cool?
I don't know if Henner can.
Henner?
Henner can go to the stage.
Henner,
in here.
come right here. Okay. Henner, stand right here. We'll stand right here and look this way. Okay, who's going to be our photographer? We need, and then hold tight. You guys, you have to. Yeah. Huh? Okay, good. And my cell phone. Where's my cell phone? Oh, cool. Can you do me a favor? All right, stand up, everybody. And make sure you can see the camera. Wiggle around. You can see it. Does it look like a good picture? Excellent. Okay, todo el mundo viendo acá, por favor. 1, 2, 3. Ok, espérame un poquito. Gracias. Sure. Okay. Todo el mundo viendo para acá, por favor. 1, 2, 3. Bisota, por favor. That's such an important picture because we're all in this thing together, and And I hope that's what the picture says 100 years from now.
Gracias por la paciencia y todo.
Y la gente de la revista también, tomarnos una foto con ellos. No los vi. Sí. ¿Tú viste a la gente de la revista? ¿La identificas? ¿Los que se pararon, que presentaron? Bueno, para tomarnos la foto afuera, juntos.